With no chapter out this week, I think it is a perfect opportunity to do a little recap. Nothing major, just a tiny bit of a recap on Wano. Now keep in mind, this video will probably be all over the place. But that being said, let's let loose. Let's get excited. Let's just throw everything on the board. I like a chapter review where I have to focus on things that happen in the chapter predominantly. This video, you can say, is me off of my leash. Before we get into this video, if you're into One Piece, make sure to subscribe to the channel as I do a lot of One Piece content on the channel, from chapter reviews every week to character analysis. We do it all here. That said, let us get into it. We as One Piece fans are very spoiled. Not only do we have a creator who is consistent in dropping chapters week after week, but we also are, in my opinion, the peak One Piece has ever been. Every chapter that comes out seems to deliver, whether it be dropping a bombshell of information or a fight. Wano is heating up very quickly, and man, I've been enjoying these last couple of chapters. And the anime also is finally heating up. Let me quickly take you on a journey. Chapter 450, which debuted on April 2nd of 2007, was the first time Wano was mentioned in the story. We heard the mention of Wano in other arcs too, but the most we got was during Punk Hazard after the time skip. Zoro asks Brook about these samurais, and Brook tells us that the word samurai is what warriors from Wano are called. And then he goes on to quickly explain that Wano is a country that is closed off from the rest of the world, and anyone who dares to venture in it is met by their mighty warriors, known as samurais. 4 arcs later, we finally arrived in Wano, and boy, did Wano exceed all our wildest imaginations. From the beautiful aesthetics of Wano to the music to the scenery, everything was so fresh and new, something we have never seen in One Piece before. And with there being a break this week, I think this is the perfect moment to reflect and appreciate this fantastic arc, starting with the raid. At this moment, the raid is going well, you could say, at least for now. 2 chapters have passed without seeing Kaido and Big Mom. Outside of those 2, things have been going really well. Nami is now the official owner of Zeus, defeating Ulti. The numbers are more close on each side than ever, with the alliance's number totaling 9,000 versus the Beastfire's 16,000. So things are looking up. And of course, who can forget Jinbei defeating another member of the Toby Robo in Who's Who in the last chapter. Now, that being said, there is still a lot we still haven't seen in a long time. On top of that list for me is Marco. How is he doing? We can assume that we'll see Marco in the upcoming chapters. Also, Robin in action. Like what's going on with Black Maria and Robin. In this last couple of chapters, there's been a lot of setups that happened. Sanji versus Queen, Law and Kid versus Big Mom, Robin versus Black Maria, and the big one, Kaido versus Yamato. Let's next quickly talk about Yamato and what I think she can bring to the crew. As far as anything other than fighting, it is very hard for me to think of her doing anything else at the moment. And lucky for her, fighting is something very important as a pirate. Regarding her fight with Kaido, obviously she has no chance of winning, but she can at least buy some time in order for Luffy and Zoro to recover. Let's say everything goes well and Yamato makes it out of Wano alive. Why do I say makes it out of Wano alive? Because I predicted in I think 2 chapters ago, I don't think that Yamato is surviving this battle, but let's just say she does, right? There has been a conversation within the community of whether she replaces Sanji in the Master Trio. Personally, I think hell no. Do not come for my boy Sanji. But that being said, this is actually a good point in discussion. PDA Law mentioned a great point, which was Luffy is no longer a part of the Master Trio. After Wano, Luffy will rise to a new level, a level of his own, you can say, as a Yonko, certified Yonko. After this, if Luffy, obviously we know Luffy is gonna come out of this arc alive, but after this arc, Luffy is gonna be an official Yonko. This was very interesting, right? Because no matter how Wano concludes, Luffy and the Straw Hats will reach a new level, and it would make sense if Luffy separates himself from his crew. I mean, there's no other Yonko who is in the same level as a crewmate, so I love this idea. Next up, let's discuss how I think Wano will end. Obviously, at the moment, we see no way in Luffy defeating Kaido. But no matter how Kaido is defeated, Luffy will most definitely need to unlock a new gear or a new power-up of some sort. And Zoro will play a significant role in that final fight against Kaido. I mean, Luffy needs all the help he can get. There is this prophecy, you can say, when it comes to Zoro dealing the final blow. And it mainly has to do with him possessing Emma. The other day, I was finally catching up with the anime, and I finally saw the fight between Kaido and Oden. And Oden was actually about to defeat the invisible Kaido. And as we know, the only scar he ever has been dealt was by the hands of Oden. I don't want to say that it would make sense for Zoro because of his relationship of having Enma and Emma being previously owned by Oden, just because of that, to say that he's going to be the one who defeats Kaido. But I'm leaning more on the side of him playing a major role in that last fight. Let's next quickly go over the obvious elephant in the room, Big Mom. Now, a lot of times I've stated my grievances when it comes to Big Mom even being here in Wano, but she's here and we have to deal with it. So the $1 million question is, will Big Mom make it out of Wano? Personally, just like everyone else, I do think so. I think Kaido will be the one who is defeated in this arc, and I said defeated, right? Not killed. Kaido is really forward and is basically waiting to be defeated. So when he gets actually defeated, God, I said the word defeated so many times, but I can imagine Kaido going to an isolated island and drinking for the rest of his days from sunrise to sunset. Or this one might be a crazy one, right? Bear with me. What if Shanks shows up in Wano to help Luffy defeat Kaido? And when they defeat Kaido, Blackbeard shows up and finishes Kaido off right there and then and challenges Shanks and Luffy. Now, you might be thinking, what made you think of that crazy and deranged theory? I told you it's going to be a wild one. But what made me think this is that Oda predicted that One Piece will end around 2024-2025. And we've been in Wano since 2018. And if Wano goes in the same trajectory it is on at the moment, we can say that the closest it will conclude is by the end of the year. Needless to say, time is needed, obviously. So Oda might just use all the pieces he has and progress the story so fast, right? That's the only explanation I can see, because there's so much unanswered questions. But if Oda truly means to end One Piece by 2025 around there, I can see no other way but speeding up the process. I mean, Big Mom being on Wano should be a major red flag. The Alliance can barely take on one Yonko alone. That being said, man, I think this is gonna be another video where I talk about how Oda is gonna end One Piece and the end of One Piece actually. But that being said, man, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was all over the place, but I needed to get this video out of my system because I love One Piece and talking about it. So to have a video where I just put all my thoughts and shit out in this fashion is a joy for me to do. Definitely let me know what you guys think of anything I said in the comments below. But with that said, until next time.